Welcome to the Boxing Talk Show. Fair but firm. With the Hall of Fame boxing referee. I'm Joe Cortez. And co-host John Zamel for all of Las Vegas. Come on, guys. Let's touch them up. Clean fight. I'm Joe Cortez. Fair but firm.
Oh, welcome to the Fair but Firm Show here. Saturday morning here with John Zimmo.
Yes, sir.
Here in Las Vegas, the boxing capital of the world. Guys, we had some fun last week, the week before, but there's nothing happening tonight.
Well, no, it's a little bit of a lull, man. We got a little bit of a lull.
We'll take a little break, maybe go under the coconut tree, relax under it in the sunshine.
This is the show equivalent of that.
The weather is beautiful out there. Just relax, guys. But you know what? But keep your guards up at all times.
Yes, sir.
Fans out there listening, I can tell you that boxing is still very much alive, though, even though there's nothing happening big this weekend other than a small fight tonight.
Yeah, we got some little fights tonight. We got some Gvozdyk and some stuff in England. And also there's one little card that I think some of our fans might know about has Ryan Garcia taking on Jose Lopez in Indio, California tonight.
Yeah,
we can talk about that. But really, we just, like I said, we've had a breather the last 2 weeks because so much happened for the first quarter of the year. And then now we have so much happening for the second quarter of the year. But it gave us a little 2 week breather. Yeah. And I'm thankful for it.
Well, you know, the rivalry with Mexican and Puerto Rican is going to happen again. A lower version tonight. Nothing big, but big for them because Ryan Garcia is undefeated and Lopez only has one defeat on his record of 20-some-odd fights.
Oh, no. He has three losses, one draw. He's 20-3-1.
Brian is.
No, Jose Lopez.
Oh, Lopez. Yeah, Lopez. Oh, okay, so he had 3 losses.
Yeah. But he's still only 25 years old.
25. He's young. He's dangerous, and they call him the Wonder Boy because he's.
And does this feel like a step up for Ryan Garcia? I mean,
no, definitely is.
He's been fighting guys who barely. I think he just fought his first fight with a guy who had 2 arms. The last fight, so now he's moving up even further, which is good. You know.
Yeah, he's finding a kid that has some goals in mind. He wants to be champion. This guy Lopez from Puerto Rico, and you never know what's going to happen.
It's a 10-round bout. That's a lot for Ryan. Last time we saw him last year, he was fighting 4-rounders. Still.
Yeah, well, let's see. Hopefully, they both do well. We wish him the very best. And what's happening in the world now about boxing? The heavyweight division, again, like we said, it's kind of
stagnant.
Yeah, kind of stagnant right now. It fizzles out a little bit. But
at least we have all the matchups made. So we know who's going to fight right now, and then we can go after July is the last one of those 3, and then we can, reset and see who's going to fight next.
Yeah, but
there's still some hope.
Yeah, but a dream fight for the fans has got to be the Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua.
Oh, yeah.
That's the fight. But then again, don't forget Luis Ortiz, the Cuban heavyweight King Kong, versus...
don't forget Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury, he's in the mix. And
Usyk taking his first... he's the, unanimous
from cruiserweight up to heavyweight, yeah.
He's making his big step, so, who knows?
Yeah, but, Deontay Wilder is... he turned down a big paycheck.
He turned down 100 million pounds.
100 million pounds. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
100 million pounds.
So, he says, he got offered 100. Now they're saying even it was 120. They said he got offered 20 million to fight Dominic Breazeale, who he's going to fight anyway on Showtime. And then they said it was it'd be like something like 50 million each for a fight with Joshua and a rematch with Joshua. Like no matter what, that was the money he was going to make. And I think he thinks that if he beats Joshua the first time, he can get a much bigger percentage for that rematch. And so he says, why sell myself short? Why box myself in? I'm not saying it's the right move or the wrong move, but that's where I think he's coming from. And I think he's loyal to Showtime. He likes Showtime. They've been good to him. They saw his rise. So that's what he says he's saying.
I still believe, though, that these guys turning down that kind of money is unbelievable.
It is, right?
Because he got to get bumped off on a smaller fight, and there goes the big paychecks.
Oh, yeah. Oh, any one of them could lose at any point.
At any point.
I mean, look, Tyson Fury could lose to this German kid.
I mean, Deontay Wilder could have easily lost that fight against Tyson Fury.
Yeah, a lot of people think he did.
A lot of people think he did.
And Tyson Fury could have easily lost it, when he got knocked out in the 12th round.
Yeah, but he got woke up when his head hit that canvas so hard, it woke him up.
Like an alarm clock.
He was going down. He was knocked out when he was going down. When his head hit that canvas, boom, he woke up.
I'm gonna need a Jack Reese alarm clock because if him counting to 10 woke Tyson Fury up from the dead, it could definally wake me up for work in the morning.
I'll tell you, man, I almost woke up everybody here in the studio with that big
with
thing.
That big slam. I know. Yeah, that's what it felt like.
We thought we had in a wrestling match that we slammed these guys on the canvas.
1, 2, 3.
Boom.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Oh my God.
Different refereeing.
Yeah.
Did you ever do WWE?
Yeah, no, not WWE, but I did some PR stuff in Puerto Rico. Yeah, they called me to do
the wrestling matches, right?
2 wrestling matches.
See, that's cool.
I'll tell you, man, you know what? I still have it in my trophy case in the collection, the number 10 ball, the pool ball.
Oh.
I found it next to my foot in the ring.
Oh,
I mean, I said, what? The guy, all hell broke loose. And
they were throwing pool balls in the ring?
No, somebody threw one in.
Yeah.
I said, man, it would call me and put a big knot on my head.
That would have been
if it would have hit me.
Oh, my goodness. Puerto Rican wrestling. Who knew?
What happened was that this guy named Colon, Coloncito, he was a very popular wrestler in Puerto Rico. And you know, this thing was, hey, Joe, you know, when he gets him in this headlock, and it was outside of the ring, and they went on the floor outside the ring, and I go out there, I jumped outside, try to get them back in the ring. He had his leg wrapped around the corner post, and then I try to get him apart, and then the bad guy of the two, the bad guy pushed
the villain,
me.
the heel.
Yeah, the heel, the villain. He pushed me. When he pushed me, I said, wait a minute, that's not part of the script. That was not part of the script. No, take a point. Shit. I pushed him back. I pushed him. Nobody pushes me.
No,
man.
Exactly.
Did I say S word?
Yeah, it's all right.
No, I said shoot.
I heard it. It's
okay.
all right. I heard shoot. My God, that's so funny.
So anyway, I pushed the guy back. When I pushed him back, he looked at me like he was expecting me to push him back.
Yeah.
But you know what?
He looked at you like that's not the script.
Even though I know what it was, a makeup thing, you know, but you don't push me.
No, yeah.
Because I wasn't expecting that. And neither was he. We almost got into it.
Yeah, that would have been so funny.
You know what happened? All the Puerto Rican fans, they got all upset. They think, I know there's chairs flying all over the place.
Yeah.
They're all chaos.
Attacking the ref.
Now it turned into a real
hero too.
Now it turned into a big fight.
Yeah.
And this is a wrestling match. I said, wait a minute, I'm not getting paid for this. This is really real now.
You're not getting paid for that brawl,
So somebody grabbed me and said, Joe, you better get back in the ring because there's too much chaos going on here. In Spanish, mira, Joe, salte aquí rápido, salte. So I got into the middle of the ring, and all this chaos, looking at all these tables, flying chairs. I said, oh my God. You know, this was definitely not on the script.
The number 10
and then when I look at near my foot, I see a 10 ball, a number 10 pool ball. I said, oh, my, these people are for real.
Was there a pool table in there, or did someone bring that from home?
Somebody brought it from home. I guess they came in there with bad intentions.
They did. They came in with the intention.
They were premeditated. I don't know. They were ready.
That's the truth. It was premeditated.
And I wasn't ready, but I said, you know, then next day I said, they had me going out to a place in Ponce. The next day I said, oh, my God. Over there was more. They were a little more calmer out there.
Yeah.
But man, I did referee, and I had to throw myself on the canvas. 1, 2, and the guy picked up the shoulder, and then they did a couple of times, and he finally got him.
You finally got him down.
And I told him, hey, come on, it's supposed to be over now. Yeah, I told him, I kind of whispered to him, and the guy tapped out. Okay, that was
it. And then it was finally over.
Man,
well, that is an exciting story, Joe.
It is exciting, man.
That is crazy.
I've been through so many things in my life.
Yeah.
I want to make a comeback.
You come back as a wrestling referee?
Maybe.
You come back somehow.
Yeah, that was kind of fixed.
It sounds like
and nobody really got hurt. But you know what? The guy, Coloncito, the wrestler, the good guy, what he did, they put tape on their fingers.
Okay.
And within that tape in the dressing room, I was watching
like Margarito.
They put a razor blade.
Oh my God.
In between the fingers.
This was the good guy.
Yeah. So what he does when the guy hits him over the head with a chair, he grabs his head. And then with the razor blades in the tape in there, he scratches. He goes, and they see all the blood start coming out. I said, man, these guys are crazy. I mean, this is
dedicated, man.
And this is supposed to be a script.
Yes.
And they got real blood coming out.
Nothing fake about that.
Oh man, this is like unbelievable, you know.
Yeah, no, that's exciting.
But you know, this is the craziest stuff you're going to see. Anyway, we're going to go to a little brief intermission here. We got so much more stuff.
After that.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Don't go away. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back to the Fair But Firm show here. This is not a wrestling match. We're talking, but I had to go down memory lane.
That was exciting, man.
Some of the things that have happened to me in my career in boxing, being that they follow boxing so big in Puerto Rico, somebody came up with the idea, Joe, we can use you out here for a wrestling match, something different, but you'll be an attraction.
I love that. That's exciting, man. I've heard a lot of your boxing stories. That was one of the more fun stories I've ever heard. That was a wrestling story.
Yeah, it was funny. A lot of fun, a great experience. And I still keep that pool ball number 10 in my trophy case just for memory. I take my look. I said, man, that ball. That golf,
it almost killed you. Yeah,
it could have hit me on top of the head.
It could have.
I would have walked out there like
you would have needed a razor blade,
like Rock Newman with a big bump on his head. Yes. Oh man, I would look like they would have called me Knucklehead Joe.
They would have called you that. Oh my God, that's so funny.
Anyway, so
hey, you know what? When we were talking about Ryan Garcia, it got me thinking because I was thinking about I got two things that I was thinking about when it comes to Ryan Garcia. One, the guy's quick, right? He's quick.
Yeah.
He's accurate. He's got good timing, but his biggest flaw has always been defense. That's what they've been saying about him. You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Amir Khan. A guy who's quick, a guy who strikes fast, strikes, a lot. Not a lot of power in his punches, but he's able to put together combinations. But, with the right opponent, he can definitely get caught. I see a lot of those similarities. And then it makes me wonder, when you look at the Ryan Garcias or the Gervonta Davises or the Devin Haney's or the Shakur Stevensons or the Teofimo Lopez's of the world, it really makes you wonder, who's the next face of this sport?
Well, Ryan Garcia is definitely one of them.
He's got a case, right?
He has a big fan base for sure, and he's young, he's talented, and he's
handsome.
The
girls love him.
That's right.
He's got like me.
Just like you.
And he's got like millions of Instagram followers and the whole thing. I mean, he's kind of.
I can't leave Charlie out too.
No, Charlie's very handsome as well.
He's a good looking guy.
Yeah, he's a good looking guy.
Our engineer in here.
Our engineer, Charlie.
Look at him flexing his muscles.
Yeah, the weigh-in. He thinks he's the weigh-in.
Well, he's a rock star.
That's so great. He is.
That's why they call him Charlie Rock.
That is true.
Okay, he rocks. Anyway.
But Ryan Garcia definitely is one of them. He's got the fan base. I think our only question is, does he have the skill set? Some guys develop a little later, and we all knew that was the case with him. But, we got to – it's kind of he trained the last fight with Canelo's old trainer, or with Canelo's trainer, Chepo, and he's training this fight with Chepo. Well, so we'll see if that can get him, to the next level.
Well, one of the things is that he has a good promotional team behind him. Oh, yeah. Oscar Golden Boy Promotion with Oscar De La Hoya. I'm sure Oscar likes him and says, I got to train this kid and show him a little better on defense.
Who knows better how to be a Mexican-American, handsome, humble face of the sport than Oscar De La Hoya? I mean, really, he's from, you know what I mean? They're from similar areas. He's from Victorville. They're both from Southern California. Right. They're both of Hispanic descent. They're both good-looking, kids with, Oscar was a kid. I mean, honestly, he's like a Oscar De La Hoya starter kid in so many ways. But
Oscar to me right now is like a kid too.
He's still young.
Compared to me, these guys are kids.
But I mean, when Oscar first came out, other than the Olympic pedigree, they kind of have a lot of similarities.
They do.
It's just a question of whether Oscar was an all-timer. Does Ryan Garcia have the skill set to back up all this hype?
Yeah, I think he's definitely on the right track, and only time will tell.
Exactly. And we'll find out tonight. There'll be another little bit of information. We'll see how he does against Jose Lopez in this 10-rounder, and then we can go from there,
Exactly. Now, who else do we have coming up in the next? We got.
Speaking of Amir Khan.
We got, Terrence Crawford with Amir Khan. That's coming up on April 20th. And that fight going to take place in the
Madison Square Garden.
In Madison Square Garden in New York City.
That's a big fight, man.
It's going to be a big fight, and it's going to be a big fight for both of them. I mean, Terrence Crawford, we know he's pound for pound probably the best, one of the top 3 best fighters.
He's my number one, but he's in everybody's top 3, exactly.
Yeah, and then you have Amir Khan, who's been I believe a 2-time world champion.
A 2-time world champion. This is a man who was
welterweight, and he's been there. He's been around the block a little bit. He's got the skills, and sometimes what happens is you stay around a little too long. I think the good fight for him would have been he was aiming to get Manny Pacquiao
on the way out
on his bucket list. Manny Pacquiao was on his bucket list, but it didn't happen. But maybe if he does,
he might still get the Pacquiao fight.
If he puts up a good fight against Terrence Crawford, maybe the fans will demand.
Absolutely. Amir Khan is a top 10 draw in the sport, and it's not just because he's got that British fan base. I mean, this is a guy who's been competing against the very best his entire career. He was an Olympic champion at 17 years old. Yeah. He won his first championship at 22. He's fought everyone from Maidana to Zab Judah to, you name it, Canelo Alvarez. I mean, this guy has been up against every great over and over again. The biggest, the biggest knock against Terrence Crawford is he hasn't really fought anybody. That's not the case with Amir Khan. He's fought everybody.
Everybody, but he wants to forget Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez, right?
I think he did forget the Canelo fight.
That Canelo Alvarez punch, I knocked him out almost cold, and it was like, wow.
Oh, my God, it almost killed him. It was scary to watch.
Everybody said, that's it for Amir Khan. He got to hang him up after this knockout.
We thought so.
But then again.
We thought that about Pacquiao, didn't we?
Yeah, how about Pacquiao? When he got knocked out by Juan Marquez, we thought that was it for him, and he's still champion of the world today.
Yes,
he's still world champion.
2019.
And that was how many, 5-6 years ago?
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
And the guy came back from the dead, man.
Exactly. That kind of happens. Sometimes you need a little bit of recovery afterwards. We all agree that he wasn't the same fighter he was, right afterwards. Even a year ago when he fought Jeff Horn. Yes, a lot of people thought that he beat Jeff Horn, and yes, he's a million times better fighter than Jeff Horn, but that shouldn't even been a conversation. The Pacquiao today that just beat Adrian Broner would mop the floor with Jeff Horn. It's just, he had to kind of find his way back.
And Jeff Horn these days, what's happening with him?
I don't know. I think he's going to fight somebody.
He's probably going to, I think he's still shadow
boxing. He says he's moving up, man. I don't know. Ever since last time we saw him, he fought on a card that you did the unofficial scorecard on, right? Against the great Terrence Crawford, who we were just discussing.
Yeah, well, I hope that I hope he comes back a little, but if he's seen his better days, it's best to hang him up there.
Yeah, but he's got a good fan base in Australia, and I love the globalization of this sport.
There's a lot of fighters that have a great fan base, but they don't have the skills anymore.
No, that's for sure.
It's time for them to step down.
Agreed. Speaking of fighters with a great fan base, Gennady Gennadiyevich Golovkin, big Triple G himself, is signing on for his first DAZN card coming soon. I don't know the exact date, but it's in the next 2 months.
Yeah.
And he's going to be fighting Brandon Adams, who just won the Contender.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. Brandon Adams comes out, gets a little bit of that reality show fame, and then he gets to fight a top 5 draw in the sport right off the gate.
How about Kovalev?
Kovalev, has been through. He's obviously lost to Ward those 2 times, then came back. He lost to Alvarez. We thought he was done, and now he came and got his belt back. Now he's back. Like you said, man, people come back. It's not how hard you fall, right? In boxing, it's how hard you get back up, man.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, Andrew Ward retired as a undefeated light heavyweight champion.
Yes, sir.
And with 33 straight wins, and I still think that they're going to draw him back into the game.
Yeah, you think so? You still think Andre Ward's coming back? You've been saying that from the beginning.
Yeah. I think
if Andre Ward comes back on HBO, then you're right a lot, because you said that,
HBO.
Yes, sir. You say, because you've been saying HBO's coming back and Andre Ward's coming back from Jump Street. Those are 2 of my favorite predictions.
HBO should bring back a little bit of the at least preliminary fight, create a contender.
I like that idea.
A contender series.
An unedited one. I would watch that in a heartbeat.
You don't have to be paying the $3, $4, $5, $6, $10, $20 million.
No, you don't have to.
Just do a contender series on HBO. Yeah, keep it alive. People really.
Yeah.
They lost a lot of subscribers because of them pulling out from boxing.
Yeah, no,
But I think that they can do a lot more, bringing back the tournament with the young.
I would like that, man. Who wouldn't like that?
Yeah,
that'd be exciting.
Yeah.
Well, I also want to make sure we mention our sponsors. I always feel bad if we don't mention them. I want to mention Into Boxing, intoboxing.com, and Into Boxing USA, and then also La Mansión. And if anyone else is interested in sponsoring our show, make sure you reach out to us at 702-722-1353. Once again, that's 702-722-1353. And we'd love to have you as part of the team.
Yeah, that'd be great, because we can use the sponsorships. We're doing a lot of things out there. And we want to get more involved with the community with reference to these young kids.
Absolutely.
And the boxing gyms. And we help out a lot with Fernando Vargas, boxingfoundation.com. You can check them out. Fernando Vargas is one of my favorites, even though I had to stop him against Oscar De La Hoya. Yeah. But maybe that's why he's one of my favorites.
Brother, yeah.
I love these guys, even though sometimes they don't make it.
You stop him because you love him. If you didn't love him, you'd let Oscar take his head off.
Yeah, but he's still a champion in the eyes of the fans out there. He's very much involved in the community, helping these kids, and I take my hat off to Fernando Vargas. You guys are interested, follow Fernando Vargas, boxingfoundation.com, and help out wherever you can.
I love that.
Yeah. Hey, guys, we're going to go into a little brief commercial, and we'll be right back. Don't go away. Okay, we're here at the Fair Firm Show again with Joe Cortez and my co-host, John Zimmel. John, we're talking about the up-and-coming fights. We have Danny Jacobs fighting Canelo Alvarez.
Oh, yes, sir.
Canelo Alvarez has only that one loss on his record. That was against Floyd Mayweather about 4 years ago.
Yeah, at least, right?
And he kind of learned a lot from that. He became a better fighter. He should definitely learned a lot.
And
Danny Jacobs has only that one loss on his record. That was against Triple G.
Yes, sir.
And Triple G, fought a good fight, but a lot of fans thought Danny Jacobs won the fight.
Yeah, people say that. I think a lot of that. Tell me how often this happens in boxing, where you have a guy who's such an overwhelming favorite. He's the boogeyman of sorts. You take a guy like a Sergey Kovalev or a Gennady Golovkin, who's knocked out 12 people in a row or 14 people in a row, and then they don't get a knockout and they have a little bit of a tough fight. People tend to score that towards the other guy, right? They tend to say, hey, well, Kovalev beat Ward or Jacobs beat Golovkin. And in reality, maybe it wasn't that clear cut. Maybe it was just you were surprised that they had, such a tough time when they've been walking through everybody.
Yeah, but in the real world, you got judges out there scoring, and really the judges are not supposed to try to bring in the paths of.
No, agreed.
And the judges call it the way they saw it.
That's what I'm saying.
The way the judges scored it, you got to go with it. But a lot of fans really feel like, wow, Then again, the judges are human. They can make a human error.
Of course.
Sometimes they're at the wrong side of the ring. And
there's a million times that we disagree with the judges' decision.
And they miss the punches that should have been scored. And
vice versa.
But that's the way it is in boxing. That's why you continue to have these controversial decisions. And again, like I said, I don't want to elaborate too long on it, but raising the position of the judges.
Let's do it.
It's the way to go. You got to raise the judges up a little higher. They can look down like they do in tennis, and you're going to get better better results at the end.
I totally get that, man.
But we have other fights that are coming up.
Oh my goodness! Well, we got a bunch of heavyweight matches, but I'm excited for that. The Terrence Crawford Amir Khan undercard has Shakur Stevenson on it. It's got Teofimo Lopez. It's got Felix Verdejo. What you have is a start to finish excellent card.
Now, talking about Felix Verdejo,
yes,
John,
please.
I don't want to interrupt you.
No, please interrupt me. I love hearing you.
Felix Verdejo was a rising star of Puerto Rico. A lot of people thought he was another Felix Trinidad, and he kind of let down the fans. He was involved in a motorcycle accident.
Yes, sir.
And ever since that motorcycle accident, he was like never the same after that.
No, exactly.
Then he got stopped in his most recent fight. Well, not the recent one.
He's only lost like one fight, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, it was to a Mexican fighter. I forgot his name, but it was in Madison Square Garden.
Yes.
I was there for that about a year ago, and I saw that. I said, "Wow, I spoke to Felix before the fight to encourage him to, that he got to do something good to get over the hump." But I said, when he lost, I went back into his dressing room that night, in Madison Square Garden, and I spoke to him. I told him, "Listen, you know what? Some of the greatest have lost, and they've come back. I think you can do it. You're still young. You still have the talent. You still got the fan base." And Bob Arum, who felt like he was the next rising star in boxing in the lightweight division, it didn't happen. So, when he comes back in April, hopefully he can show the world that he still has a little spark of the old flash.
I could not agree more. When you think of Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson, the two other guys on this card, these are two guys, two up-and-comers who are considered the next faces of boxing in every way.
Right.
These are two guys who won Prospect of the Year on every way that they could. Between those two and Devin Haney, they won the last two Prospects of the Year. When you think of Felix Verdejo, when he was coming up, how did his hype compare to the hype of maybe Teofimo Lopez or Shakur Stevenson
it was 10 times higher than the hype for these guys.
Exactly. So that's what we're seeing.
But, there are other fighters in Puerto Rico that were fighting on the undercard of Felix Verdejo, and they are champions today.
Yes.
And look like Felix Verdejo
kind of got left behind.
And everybody's so disappointed because he has such a big fan base in New York, Chicago, especially Puerto Rico. But it just didn't work out for him. But let's see what happens in April. I've been backing him up. I said he's still got a chance, But April, if he doesn't make it,
if he doesn't show up in this stage,
and I gotta say goodbye, Felix.
It's probably what a missed opportunity of a career.
Unbelievable, yeah.
Canelo and Danny Jacobs is by far the most anticipated fight of the year because it is the face of boxing, the greatest, like the biggest fighter in the world going up against his toughest opponent, Wild.
Well, Danny Jacobs told me not too long ago during the Pacquiao fight when he beat Adrian Broner. I said, now that you're fighting Canelo, how did that come up? He said, Joe, honestly, I was surprised that they accepted me.
We all were surprised.
But Danny Jacobs told me that himself. He said, I thought that he's taking one of the, he said, but I'm very grateful that they chose me. It's a big payday.
Man, I've given him so much credit. Yes, that's the thing, right? Canelo makes $33 million no matter what he does.
Yeah.
So for him to take on a fighter like Danny Jacobs in his second fight of an 11-fight, $365 million deal, to take on a fighter with a dangerous caliber of Danny Jacobs with the height advantage and all of the other advantages that he has, is just outstanding.
Yeah, I think that he's taking a big risk by fighting Danny Jacobs, but that's
what fighting is, right?
This is what makes you great.
Yes, sir.
If they consider one of the great ones out there, you got to fight the best out there.
Yeah, push yourself to that
Otherwise,
level.
You will not be considered a great fighter.
You got to fight Triple G twice, even people felt like you lost the first time.
Yeah.
You got to fight Floyd Mayweather at 20 years old. You got to fight, you know what I mean? You got to push yourself, and that's what Canelo's done, and I give him so much credit for that.
Exactly. Well, you fans out there watching, you guys are following the big fights. You're a big Canelo Alvarez fan. And so are we, because he brings a lot of attention to boxing. He draws a lot of fans, and it's a big fan base with boxing because of Canelo Alvarez.
But don't be surprised. Come May 4th.
You never know, man.
Yeah.
And it could be, you could say it was,
he's not fighting Rocky Fielding.
It'd be one of those days that you have, he's not Rocky Fielding. Rocky Fielding was a punching bag.
Exactly.
And Danny Jacobs is a fighter that's going to bring a lot of talent, a lot of excitement to this fight.
I agree. Well, brother?
Yeah. No, keep on. So with the boxing game that we got going on, all these fights that are going on right now.
There's a million good fights, man. I'll tell you something I'll tell you my favorite thing about it is that card, that April 20th card, that's the card I'm looking most forward to, man. As far as full card, start to finish, that's you can't miss that one. And that final fight is going to be incredibly exciting.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it. But of course, I'm looking forward to the big ones coming up in May. Hey, fight fans out there, I can tell you again, thank you so much for listening to the show. Keep your guards up at all time. Protect yourselves at all times.
Yes, sir.
God bless. We'll catch you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
fair but firm, with the Hall of Fame boxing referee. I'm Joe Cortez for all of Las Vegas. Come on, guys, let's touch them up. Clean fight. I'm Joe Cortez, fair but firm.